092, range 15 miles.
Charlie, what do you make of this target?
Most likely a U-boat, sir.
Up for air and a battery charge. Getting ready to come at us, Captain.
Steady on 092, sir.
Very well.
Welcome to another Greg G&P video, and in this video we will be connecting this old World War II building to movies such as Greyhound. Fortuitously for me, Google Street View has not been updated in this area for 10 years, affording us the opportunity to look back at the site then and compare it with the site today using the same camera angles and positions. But first, before any explorer can begin, what is this place? Where is it? What you see here is a Google Earth view of the entire site before all the buildings except one were demolished. It's a signal station located on the Killy Lane Road, approximately 6 miles northeast of the city of Derry, Londonderry. It has long since been abandoned, but the site was used for around 20 years as a Royal Navy shore-to-ship radio communication station, communicating with naval vessels operating across the Atlantic Ocean. And in this video, we explore the importance of this site for the first time ever on YouTube. I've just been checking out some photographs here, which I did not take off the site. These were taken some years ago. And these were taken by Nick, I believe, at Frontline Ulster. And Ulster is essentially like a region, if you like, on the island of Ireland. And Nick has obviously taken these pictures during the winter time, which is probably more advisable, I think, because when I went there to explore the site, well, it was in the summertime when everything was in full growth and it was difficult to get through all the brush and all the weeds and different things growing there. But I'd like to thank Nick for permission to use some of his pictures in this video. There will be a link in the description, by the way, and I will get back to Nick's website in just a moment. What I want to do is run some of these pictures for you with a full description of the site before we do the actual explore. The city port was of huge naval importance during World War II, being the first port of call for many transatlantic convoys. In 1940, the port became HMS Ferret and was the most westerly British naval port in Europe. In 1942, after the Americans had entered the war, the US Navy made it home, setting up a new naval port at Lissahalli titled Base 1 Europe. Unfortunately, all the buildings except one were demolished since these pictures were taken in 2017. It seems that demolition took place sometime near the end of 2019 into early 2020. Probably around 60 people worked at this site. Their duties would have been in communications, operations personnel, radio operators, technical staff, that would be to maintain the transmitters and generators, administration staff, and of course, site security. You can see that from this guardhouse. I will revisit some of these photos later on in the video and compare them to what the site looks like today from the road, just as the Google streetcar would have seen it 10 years ago. So, let the explore begin. Alright, so this is the plan. I park my car here and walk the short distance to the front of the building. That's the plan. Here we go. Okay, so I have a feeling getting in here may not be too easy because it's so heavily overgrown. So much growth, weeds and everything growing, but let's see how we go. guys, we've just arrived here. It's quite windy. This looks like it was some kind of office or reception area as you came in the door. You can see there are grooves or trenches cut on the floor for obviously cables, underfloor cables in this room. Whatever it was used for, but it was overlooking the operations in here. You know, it's very interesting when you walk along here, and I've got to be careful because I'm not sure what's on the floor. But right along here, people would have operated the radio equipment. We can still see some wooden battens on the wall which would have supported that kind of thing, the worktops. And that would have been on both sides. Let's just keep going. And also here in the middle of the floor, you can probably just see through the undergrowth a channel cut on the floor where cables would have run along here, and even smaller sub-channels along here. It's quite overgrown, but we'll get a look at that in a second. And that ran along the middle of the floor to about here. There we go. And steps into another section of the building. One of the things you notice in here is that there's a lot of electrical boxes on the walls, fuse boxes for all kinds of wiring all over. You can see it there, usually in between the windows with a larger one above. We can see it on this side, and we can see it on the other side. The roof is in very bad condition. It's really beginning to collapse in here. So you would have had radio operators along this side of the wall and that side. Let's go down these steps. Take these steps. There's not much to see in here at all. It's much more empty. But it makes me wonder who would have operated in here, the kind of people. More cables and boxes and electrical boxes. And we come to another door, double doors. Interesting. And when you get out here, have a look at this. Not sure what that was used for. Possibly fuel, because I think this was possibly a boiler room. So we've got to go down some steps here into this room. This is at a lower level. A little bit dark in here. But you can see there's a lot of pipes. The old light fixtures. One there as well. But like I said, a lot of pipes in here. Something was sitting there. Possibly some kind of burner. I'm not sure. This possibly was the chimney, I'm guessing. The pipe would have gone through there for the chimney. Something was sitting here too. Whatever that was. But given the fact that there's a lot of pipes in here, I'm guessing that it was used for heating. Now I'm going to take you into the final part of the building, the wing where there's a lot of offices. That's at the other side of where we are. And this is where the video really gets interesting. What I'm going to try and do here is from this viewpoint, let you see where the previous buildings were. Try and freeze frame some of this footage if we can of what the site used to look like. Oh wow, this is the toilet, or at least one of two toilets. The wash hand basin or sink was there, and we still have the toilet paper dispenser. You know, this is interesting in here. It's interesting in here, in this particular room, there's a lot of pipes. Look at all the pipes. All over, whatever this room was used for. And we kind of see that up there, where part of the ceiling has collapsed. In between those wooden beams, we can see a whole lot of pipes, whatever they were used for. Plumbing, of course, but probably cables of some kind. A lot of flaking paint in here, and I'm not sure what this room was or what it was used for, but always give us your thoughts, guys, in the comments. Again, a lot of cables would have come in here, underfloor wiring, pretty sophisticated for its time. And speaking of flaking paint, we can actually see that some of the colours on the door frames, the blue and the red. Moving on. Interesting corridor of history. It's another wing over there, badly overgrown, but there's nothing to see in there. But if you look in the distance, you will see electrical boxes on the walls. Again, this place is in pretty bad condition, and I've got to be careful exploring it because a lot of the roof has caved in here. So just a few quick points before I wrap all of this up. It is interesting that communication site, which would have issued orders in coordinating all the traffic along the North Atlantic Ocean, is located quite a distance away from the actual port of Derry, Londonderry. And that's where the warships came in, of course, for their supplies and so on. And even captured U-boats were tied up there. I think at one point there was something like 42 captured U-boats, all tied there before they took many of them out to sea to scuttle them. What's really disappointing is that building I just explored will probably be demolished not very long from today. And when that's demolished, the site will be completely clear. And it's almost as if it becomes meaningless then, the significance of that site. But at least I was able to get in there, explore that building, because it's probably condemned. It's a pity there's no way of saving it. It would make a terrific museum. But anyway, there is reference made to the local port here in the movie Greyhound. Yeah, they do talk about it. Have a look at this.
Well, we'll be relieving you now and taking the convoy on to Liverpool. You take Dickie and Harry and make best speed to the Naval Yard in Londonderry.
Sir, I request I stay with the convoy. I have 56 hours fuel at economical speed.
No, that's an order, Commander. We'll set the convoy on from here. I need you to take Dickie and Harry back home. They're not fit to stay in the game, understood? Off to Derry with you.
Aye, aye, sir. Dickie, Harry, Greyhound.
Dickie here. Harry here.
You are relieved of your screening duties. Form starboard echelon on me at the head of the convoy. We will depart on 087 for Londonderry.
Aye, aye, sir. Aye, sir.
Wow. Cool. Anyway, thanks again to Nick at Frontline Ulster for allowing me to use a lot of those photographs that he took. And he has further expanded on the subject, because if you think of it this way, the people that worked there had to live somewhere, and he's really expanded on that. Go check out his website and you'll see the accommodation, which I did not cover in this video because it's a different site. Maybe we'll do another Explore video at some point on the same subject. But in the meantime, thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Take care of yourself and each other.